Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Can I please have a single freaking day to relax without being hit with a new level of insanity and stupidity? Holy freaking moly, I mean, these people cannot take a day off the damn grift. And of course, I'm referring to Karmelo Anthony, his family, and their PR representative, Mr. Dominique Alexander. Seems as though they wake up every single morning and ask themselves, well, how exactly can we make this whole situation worse? Well, congrats. You've done it again, Mr. Dominique. You've outdone yourself this time. They're really pushing this victim complex narrative to a new stratosphere. Every day seems to be worse than the last. And boy, did the victimhood grift reach a whole new level yesterday. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so firstly, we had this interesting moment. It seems as though Karmelo's family and their representation seem to be seriously grasping at straws here, attempting to find literally anything to blame other than their son and his violent actions, and I guess they found their new big brain genius defense. It wasn't his fault, it was the weather's fault.
I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off.
What the actual F did I just watch? So now it's the rain's fault that a teenage thug stabbed somebody in the heart because his ego was bruised. Are we freaking serious? This is the big brain defense coming from the PR geniuses and legal minds representing Karmelo and his family? If only the skies were clear, then Austin Metcalf would still be alive today. If only the groups organizing this track meet had canceled the event, then we wouldn't be here. Are you freaking insane? This has to be the most embarrassingly brain-dead insult to my intelligence, bottom of the barrel argument I think I've ever heard. I mean, what's next? We're gonna be blaming tent manufacturers for not making big enough tents that can encompass the entire range of the bleachers? Are we gonna start having the conversation of tent inequality, equal tent justice? What's next? It wasn't his fault. There should have been a no stabbing warning labeled on each tent. Holy frickin' moly, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And honestly, if this is your public defense strategy, you've already lost. And really, the more I'm subjected to this absolute idiotic nonsense, the more and more I'm convinced that the footage that was filmed on that day that's in the possession of police officers and the courts, the more I'm starting to believe that there's no way it shows anything but clear guilt of the stabbing suspect. I mean, come on, in today's woke world, you're telling me that if there was a video that totally exonerated this kid, we wouldn't have had a leak at this point? Yeah, most likely the talking point from the family and the legal and PR team representing the suspect would be probably talking about how the contents of that video would totally exonerate the kid. No, but instead, we're moving the goalposts to an absolutely astonishing degree. Absolute idiocy. But that wasn't the only insult to our intelligence moment. This grifter king Dominique Alexander continued, this time signaling outrage at the unfair treatment that Karmelo Anthony is facing by drawing a comparison from Karmelo Anthony to Kyle Rittenhouse, and in the clip with a straight face he says that, quote, Kyle Rittenhouse was caught on video shooting 3 people in the back, and he still got off on self-defense.
And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I asked, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Pena, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that.
What? I mean, that is just a flat-out, blatant lie. Kyle Rittenhouse was chased, assaulted, cornered, shot at, hit with a skateboard. He tried disengaging from the crowd that was chasing him to the extent that it looked like he ran more than a football field's distance away from the initial encounter. He was running away and only shot at the absolute last second when he was being assaulted with a skateboard, and another absolute lunatic was pointing a handgun in his face. But this absolute grifter clown has the audacity to claim that he shot 3 people in the back. What is going on? And again, what kind of defense is this? Comparing that incident to Karmelo, who got touched once from what we understand and then stabbed somebody in the heart? Give me a break, that's not self-defense, that is an execution. And then of course the grift continues. This one's not surprising in the least.
And that is your constitutional right? It's people out here reminding us of the black struggle in America.
Yeah, pulling the race card. Dominique Alexander claims that all the criticism that the family and he and Carmelo Anthony are receiving, well, it's all racial in nature. Going on about, well, this is just the black experience in America, reminding us of the black struggle in America. What is going on? I mean, think about how insulting that is, too. As a black person, to be using that legacy, the real struggles, the actual injustices that black people have faced historically, and then using that struggle and that dark history to defend a kid who stabbed somebody to death because he was asked to leave a tent that he was not invited to. It's unbelievable. Like I was saying in the intro, every single day it gets so much worse than the day prior. I'd actually like a break from this nonsense. My brain hurts. I've never seen anything like it. It is downright disrespectful. And actually, speaking of disrespectful, we might as well use that as a segue to the last part here. So interestingly enough, Austin Metcalf's father actually showed up at this press conference, and apparently, his mere presence there was disrespectful. That's according to Dominique Alexander.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case.
And in fact, his presence was so disrespectful to them that they literally called the police on him and had him forcibly removed. Definitely some interesting optics. I can't help but notice how they had an issue with him being in their space, and so they asked him to leave, and he did so without issue. But on the flip side of the story, when Carmelo Anthony was asked to leave, a place that he was not invited to, yeah, he stabbed the kid in the chest. Just let that sink in for a second. This entire circus, I mean, it's one of the most disrespectful, most shameless displays I think I've ever witnessed. The new house, the Escalade, the t-shirts, the Give, Send, Go fundraiser, and just the general attempt here to desperately try to flip the narrative and flip the script to paint the perpetrator as the victim, and not to mention at the center of it all, using this Dominique Alexander character, a convicted felon with a rap sheet a mile long, as the face of this PR campaign, and now parading him around as he pretends to be a civil rights leader fighting over a supposed injustice. I feel like I'm in a frickin' South Park episode. It's one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had covering anything on this channel. It's just also baffling and I can't wrap my frickin' head around it. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.